Hello, it's Sequence Bear and we're back with another video. What are we doing today?
So I came across this clip here. ANC members threatening the poor.
What?
Let's just check out this clip first.
Okay.
And then you tell me what you think about it.
Okay.
And how's a voted ANC? Come on, utlisa karata ya SASSA, utlisa likhia ya RDP. Ufelle mo.
Very short clip.
Ew.
Very quick. But for those of you who need the translation, she basically said if you don't vote for the ANC,
Bring back the SASSA card and the keys for your RDP.
bring back the SASSA card and bring back your RDP house keys. And you'll be left with nothing.
Ew.
So what are your thoughts on all
That's
that?
crazy. That's crazy. Like people like this, I don't know, some consequences need to be put in place for this. This is wrong. This is misinformation. They must stop acting like, yes, I get it that those things, they got them under the ANC government, but they are not the ANC's personal money. It's still taxes that belong to South Africans. We as taxpayers should be like, no, bring back RDP keys and whatever, more than the ANC has right to do that.
So the reason why this video intrigued me is that I wanted to get into like the different campaigning strategies of like the big political parties. We recently spoke about John Steenhuisen and his campaigning strategies to basically scare the voters into not voting for any other party. Because
all of them are screaming desperado.
It's election season, so what I was saying is that the DA's campaigning strategy seems to be like we must scare the voters into not voting for anybody else of the fear that they might lose the Western Cape. And then now we're seeing the ANC strategy is that if you vote for anybody else, you will lose
this,
your grants and your RDP houses. So these are members in the public and the communities putting out these social media videos and basically campaigning on behalf of their parties. And you're gonna see a lot more of these. You're gonna see DA members telling the public that other people will come in to loot. You're gonna see ANC members telling the public that if you vote for anybody else, you're gonna lose whatever little you have, and so forth. So for me, this was very interesting. And again, it goes back to the community presence that I keep talking about. That in the communities,
it's very important.
ANC members are deeply entrenched in the communities, and they're also going to be campaigning on behalf of the ANC, and they're going to be telling a lot of people this very same rhetoric that no,
absolutely,
if you do not vote for the ANC,
take your mind away from it's just the presidents and the big politicians who do the campaigning, who do the speaking in the communities, but it's the members of the parties.
Word of mouth is very
absolutely powerful. And it's like it's hard though sometimes.
So it's also very important for like other people to see what's going to be happening. The next couple of months, you're going to see this ramp up even more, and as you get closer to the election, people are going to be campaigning on behalf of their parties. So this is the kind of stuff you're going to see. I'm going to try find an MK campaign as well. I'm interested to see what underground they are saying to the people. Like
besides what we've been hearing because they were just fighting for them to be on the ballot and all of that. Like we get that. Now that all of that is over, what are they saying on the ground?
I'm probably gonna have to try find like some video of MK members actually campaigning for the party. But for this one specifically, it's like, again, I want people to try and understand that the ANC is targeting the poor demographic, which is
that is why these people now are gonna be what you're gonna see a lot of,
which is the largest voter base currently in the country. And again, it's all fear-mongering. DA's fear-mongering is they're gonna loot. ANC's fear-mongering is that you're not gonna
have, you want to take away your RDP.
You're gonna lose whatever
that's insane.
You have. So it's a very interesting strategy, and if you think about it, like fear is probably one of the most powerful emotions and one of the most triggering emotions.
Yes, because we do a lot.
If you invoke fear in people, they're most likely to act.
This is the thing, like people's questions are not being answered because you ask yourself these questions like, okay, if not the ANC, then who else can I trust is gonna give me this? And then
but for me, I just found this video, even though it's quite short, I found it very interesting as to think about the different campaign strategies that political parties are deploying.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing a lot of these.
Yeah, so there's like literally about just over a month to the election. So
absolutely,
campaigning is going to be ramping up.
It's gonna be crazy now.
I just found this clip and I thought it was very interesting that this is the strategy that the ANC is going to be employing in the streets, probably in mainstream media, specifically like in their press conferences and on TV and stuff, like on radio. They're probably going to be singing a different tune.
Yeah, because they're obviously not, they can't say this.
Yeah, they're probably going to be...
This you'll hear a lot on TikTok and stuff, and I'm sure they do tell them to do that.
Yeah, so I'm saying they're probably going to be talking more about policy changes and fixing the issues that they currently have now. They're probably going to be talking more about that. But then there's like the lower level of campaigning, which is on the ground campaigning, which is, the members of the parties like actually being in the communities and talking to the people. And funny enough, social media platforms like TikTok and Facebook, that's where you find a lot of people who are in the rural areas and in the townships. TikTok and Facebook still predominantly that demographic of people. So if you're interested in seeing what people are thinking in the rural areas and in the townships, just try find content on Facebook about specific party or on TikTok, and then you'll see a lot of them.
You'll see how people are thinking,
giving their think pieces about their parties. On the other hand, Twitter is more middle class and upper middle class. So it's not a real true reflection of like society. That's why on Twitter EFF generally dominates the conversation there, because it's more middle class and upper middle class. But in other platforms like TikTok and Facebook, you get more of the rural, poor to impoverished people. In those platforms. So if you want to see what those people are actually thinking, just take a scroll through there, and you'll see what the rhetoric is from ANC members, what the rhetoric is from MK party members, what the rhetoric is from these different parties. And it's going to be very interesting to see over the coming time what that will look like.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this is a very interesting strategy. Fearmongering. Don't vote. If you don't vote for the ANC, you're gonna lose whatever.
Good one,
it's a good strategy.
It's a good strategy. We can't. I think it will work.
It will work for a lot of people.
Because I know a lot of people will be like, hey.
So now the best way to combat this is obviously as well, you need to refute these claims. So if you're an opposition party seeing these kind of videos online,
reassure the people that that's not the case. You know what people get scared of is because all these other parties, what they usually say is that we don't want to create a people that are dependent on a grant system. That's the last thing a person on a grant wants to hear. Like, even though, like, yes, best case scenario, they also don't want to be reliant on a grant, but it kind of comes across like, oh, so you could have just ripped the grant away from me. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and you as a person in that situation, you don't know any other, any other setup but you getting a grant, and because things are so difficult, like you see, oh, it's so difficult to get a job, what am I going to do? Are they going to leave me to my own devices, and not help me now? So the ANC is the only one that cares about me in this situation, because they still provide something for me. So I feel like beyond that, obviously the big goal and the big aim is obviously not to have people reliant on grants. Yes, that's the ideal, but that's the last thing a person on a grant wants to hear right now. Like, that to them is just saying, you are going to take away the grant. For now, I think we just need to reassure them that, one, the grant is going to be there, obviously, until we make alternative arrangements.
Cool. So you guys let us know what you think about the situation.
Let us know.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And keep watching. Goodbye.
We'll check you guys in the next one.